Welcome back to Lost in the Dark podcast, everybody. How's it going, Aaron?
Good, man. Chilling.
We are back in the... Oh, cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
What episode is this?
104?
Yeah.
I want to say 104. 104. It is right now. What day is it? It's fucking Monday the 18th. Monday, motherfuckers. Metal Monday. You know, I was listening to... I woke up this morning just needing metal.
Yeah.
Immediately. And I usually start off the day listening to some podcasts just because, I don't know. I just like it.
Sometimes you gotta ease yourself into.
Yeah. Well, oftentimes it's a metal podcast. But yeah, as soon as I got in the car, where did I start? I started with that Cross Off, Mark Martin with Chester. And then I went straight into fucking Slipknot, fucking new album, We Are Not Your Kind. And then some Hatebreed, right into some Hatebreed, and then right into some Convalescence. It was just, oh, man. It was great. It was a solid lineup on the playlist this morning. Man, oh, man. What? Okay. So I guess we'll start off last Friday, I went to a show in Lansing at Mac's Bar in Lansing. It was Recorruptor, I believe it was their last show of the year, I want to say.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't think, and I know for a fact they won't be back at Mac's until January. There's some festival that they have at Mac's every year in January, some little metal festival that I didn't know about, but apparently...
I think I know what you're talking about.
I don't remember the name of it. Yeah. It's got some strange name, but Recorruptor will be there. And so the bands I saw were Human Maceration, Maceration, Maceration?
Sounds
Is that how you... I don't know.
I think so.
Human Maceration, Iron Mountain, Obscene, Recorruptor, and then they were all opening for Centenary.
Centenary. Yeah.
Human Maceration, it was only their... They don't even have an Instagram yet. It was only their second show ever.
Oh, yeah.
3-piece.
Nice.
Pretty straightforward death metal. It's pretty fucking good, honestly. I for an opener, and I'll think, everything, it's only their second show ever. I was like, I see it, though. You know what I mean? I see the beginnings of something here. This could be... Yeah. I could see something going on there, for sure.
That's always cool.
Mm-hmm. I fucking love that, dude. It's one of my favorite parts. And then Iron Mountain comes out and demolishes, dude.
Yeah.
These guys fucking... So first of all, I thought they were from the UP. They were from Detroit. I mean, I even told them that. I was like, I'm not going to lie. When I first heard your name, I thought you were from the UP. They're like, that's what it's named after. I'm like, God, no. I figured that. We're all from Michigan, at least. And we have an Iron Mountain in Michigan, so...
Yeah. I didn't put that together.
But they... Phenomenal. Now, see, here, it's actually kind of funny because they're doom metal. Straight doom metal. No holds bar. And we don't get a lot of that. Yeah. There's not a lot of doom metal bands in Michigan, actually. And I kind of learned that night from everybody talking about it.
Yeah, there really isn't.
But they, so yeah, they come out the fucking, yeah, they were great. They had a lot of really great energy live. They played really well. I think it's kind of funny though that I saw them and the fact that I liked them so much because, I'd just been listening to another podcast where they were talking about Greta Van Fleet and how people are mad about. Some people are like, oh, it's just a fucking Led Zeppelin copy or whatever.
Yeah.
Somewhat agreed. But then someone made the point where they're like, well, every doom metal band is just a Sabbath copy. And I went, and then I saw them, and I was like, fuck, that's definitely a Sabbath riff. But it was awesome at the same time, and I loved hearing it. So, I wasn't mad about it at all.
Yeah.
And, if you're going to fucking, in a sense, through what you're doing, pay homage to the greats, I mean, I don't have a problem with that. So, but yeah, it was very Sabbathy, just way heavier, and it was fucking, man, they were really, really good. I talked to them after their set, and they were really fucking cool guys. And they had a song about Godzilla. Yeah. I was like, sold. As soon as they said they had a song about Godzilla, I was like, sold. I fucking talked to them. They were super cool. I got a copy of their CD and stuff. Iron Mountain, definitely check them the fuck out. 100%. They're a great band, and they'll be back with Recorruptor in January. They'll be playing that festival thing at Max.
Oh yeah.
Then Obscene. Oh yeah, Obscene. Yeah, then Obscene comes out. More energy, for sure. I mean, it's kind of hard to have that much energy when you're a doom metal band because there's a lot of like those long, slow parts.
Yeah.
I think they had like a 25-minute set or so, maybe 15. I don't know, somewhere in there, and they played like 3 songs. So
Sounds about right.
you know what I mean? It was awesome.
That's like the stereotypical like oh I'm like an hour late to the show, but it's all right because the first band's through their like second song already.
Yep, that's doom metal for sure.
Oh yeah, though. Was it like how was it anyway?
Well, they were great. Like they sounded really, really good. I got the CD. I could show you. Maybe I could show you something. But yeah, they released that first CD, and sadly the Godzilla song isn't on it. They're trying to get money right now to work on the next one to put the Godzilla song on. I'm like, well, as soon as that Godzilla song's on a CD, I'm gonna buy it. All right.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Obscene.
Oh no, Obscene. Fucking, they were. You know, trying. You know what? Here, I'm just gonna look real quick because I'm trying to exactly remember everything about them. Here we go. Okay, now I remember. Yes, lots of fucking. They were fucking heavy as shit, dude. I liked. Yeah, all of their energy on that stage was insane. Like it was really, they did a really good job. They really brought the place up. They got a little movement in the crowd, and fucking, they did a great job. Yeah, I thought they sounded good. And I didn't get to talk to any of them, I don't think, but yeah, one person though I did. So you know, I got to that point where I just started like walking up to people and handing out stickers, and I recognized this one guy, and I was trying to place where I recognized him from. And then I noticed he had a fucking Cannabis Corpse hat on. Yeah. I was like, done. So I just walked up to him, and I was like, dude, I fucking love your hat. I asked him if he'd heard the Nug So Vile, the new album. And he's like, dude, I was listening to that earlier at work today. I was like, fuck yeah, man. And I was talking to him, and as I was talking to him, I realized, I was like, oh, shit. He used to work at Odie's Big Ten, the liquor store down the, you know, and... Yeah. And I remembered him because every time I went in there while he was working, he would play metal. Like there was always metal playing, and I fucking loved going in there for that. And I was like, wait, did you used to work at Big Ten? He's like, yeah, man. It's fucking awesome. So I gave him, and he was talking. He was with a girl that was there, and fucking they. He told me, he's like, yeah, no, there's actually a new like basement venue in Lansing. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, it's called Displaced Manor. Look it up on Facebook. They got a Facebook. And I guess the girl that he was with was, I don't know if she was the owner or the main person or whatever, but that's what he seemed to suggest. And yeah, it's literally just a basement venue for metal. Iron Mountain has played there before, I guess. And yeah, like I am for sure going to a show there. Like, are you kidding me? A fucking new venue in Lansing and it's in a basement? Yeah, I'm all about that. I am all about those weird little... We've had a lot of weird little venues pop up over the years and just disappear, and I've gone to all of them, and I love them all. So I'm super excited to check out some at this place. Like, holy shit. It's right off Michigan somewhere, like, in between Max and the Loft, I think. But yeah, all metal bands. You guys should fucking play there.
Surprised I haven't heard of this place.
No, I don't think anybody has yet.
Yeah, it must be...
brand new. Brand new. So that made me really excited. Talk to them, give them some stickers. Really cool people.
Yeah, that's cool.
So shout out to them. Shout out to Displaced Manor. And then and then it happened. See, here's the thing. All right, so the first band they came on, they were good for sure. Second show ever, and considering that, real good for their second show ever. And then fucking Iron Mountain comes on, amazing, but slow. Nobody's moshing to doom metal. You know what I'm saying? And then Obscene comes on, and they have a lot more energy. People, you know, could definitely mosh to it, but with that doom metal in between, it never quite hit that peak. You know what I mean? In terms of in the crowd and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then Recorruptor happened. And I say that specifically. Recorruptor happened to that audience. Like, they just came on, and from the second the music started, they were the second to last band to go on that night, first band of the night with the pit, and it was mayhem. They were and watching them, especially that night, like, and even when I fucking messaged, like, like Clint and Alex posted about it or something like that, and I commented on the post, and they're like, "Oh, we're partying that night." Like, I got there and they were all already drinking. I was like, "Oh shit, this is a party night!" And they were up there. They sounded so fucking good, and they just every single one of them was smiling and just having fun. And you felt it, and it just fucking connected. And they didn't really like announce the song, so I don't know if they played any like new stuff or not. But they fucking just were They looked like they had been on tour for a while. Like, things were just molded together perfectly. Like, they were just in sync. All of them on that stage, they were just in sync with each other. And it was just, they were playing off each other, going back and forth. They all had the movements down. They looked like they were a band that had been on tour for 6 months already and were just in that prime of tour. Yeah. You know what I mean? That bands talk about. So, yeah, man, they just, oh, man, it was fucking, it just made me want more. I was like, when's the next one? And it's January. God damn it. But all right, I'll be there. God, so fucking good. Huge shout out, because we're gonna have Clint back on soon. He actually, I'm not gonna message back on the podcast, but he just texted me.
Oh shit!
Right here live on the podcast. Clint just texted me, asking to. He gave me some possible dates for the album of the year episode. So you and I'll talk about that as soon as this is done, and yeah, so he'll be back on soon. I talked to Alex a lot that night. He'll be coming on probably next week or something. So huge shout out to fucking Recorruptor. They just annihilated that shit. And I'm not even gonna lie, I kind of said it as a joke, but like really thinking about it, like I'm actually dead serious. Like when you and I saw Cannibal last week, it was awesome and it was amazing to see them with Thy Art, but there was a bit of a different energy when Recorruptor opened for him. Yeah. Like, Recorruptor brings something to the table, and it's an energy that is intense and raw and fucking amazing. Like,
that's something I always liked about their sound, is like as much of the speed and the intensity of it, there's still like that rawness to it that's cool. Mm-hmm. I like a lot. It definitely translates over live, because it's, I mean, you could tell on the album it's the same vibe and stuff that it is live. So, and
I cannot wait for the fucking new album.
Oh, it's gonna be sick.
So excited. So yeah, man, they just, I loved it so much. They just did a great job. And then Centenary came out. In full disclosure, most of the guys in Recorruptor had to work the next day and stuff, so they were kind of heading out. I only caught a few songs from Centenary, but they were. Oh, dude. Yeah. Oh, dude. One of the guitarist was using a Jackson RR3, like a lime green RR3. I was like, oh, shit. RR3's in the house, motherfucker. You never see people. It drives me crazy, because it's the coolest guitar ever made, in my opinion. But you never, like, outside of like Alexi Leho, you almost never see anybody using a Randy Rhoads style guitar. And every time I see one, I get excited. Because I love those my favorite guitars. I own one, and I will own. There's another one. I need that RX-28 real bad, real fucking bad. Like, I need that shit. So, oh my god, I love that guitar. But so yeah, it was just great. It was great to see that. It was great to see. All those bands, small, just local as fuck Michigan show. And I tell you what, like, talking to all those people, like one of the fucking guys when I brought up the Godzilla song to Iron Mountain, they pointed to one of their bass player, and during the show he had an Evil Dead shirt on, and then after the show he put on a hoodie. It was an Alien hoodie. I'm like, oh, this is my guy right here. Like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, he's apparently a huge Godzilla fan and into horror movies and shit. Like, awesome, just awesome people. They were really great, and I hope maybe we'll get them on this podcast one day, because they were I want to talk to them more. They were super cool, and really, really good sounding band. I liked it a lot. So yeah, that was that show on Friday. Motherfuckers, people, don't miss your local metal shows. Like if you're a metalhead, go to this local shows. Like I'm dead serious. Like after that show, I was like, every time I go to one, I'm like, even if I'm going alone and there's not a single band I'm heard of, I should go to every single local metal show that happens. Because they're only $5 to $10. They're nothing. Drinks are not that expensive, especially at Max. Yeah. And they're the only ones that have. That's the only rock show bar in the city. Within 40 miles. That's about the only one.
Pretty much.
So, yeah, I just need to start going to more, man. Like these smaller ones, you know what I'm saying? Because we always say this is where everything starts. It's where all this shit. That's where you create a scene. You know what I mean? Like that's. I love it. I love it so much. I just fucking love it so much. God. Oh man. So yeah, there's that. I want to talk about that show. Give all those bands props and shout outs. And if you ever have a chance, if you're in Michigan, to go see any of them, fucking do it, because you won't be disappointed.
I was a little bit, just because I skipped out on it for one reason or another, and I feel shitty about it, honestly.
Sure came in.
Yeah.
It was. I tell you what, too, it was funny to me because Alex, when I was talking to him, he's telling me, he's like, I'm so fucking bummed I didn't get to be on the show with Recorruptor, on the episode with Recorruptor. I had to do something that day. He's like, but me and my girl were going down to Detroit for a show, and on the way down, we listened to the episode with you guys, and he was like, it was fucking hilarious. You guys were awesome. I loved it so much. I wanted to be on so bad. And he's like, he's like, brought you up. He's like, I specifically want to talk to Aaron because like he's so quiet all the time. He never really talks, and on there he's like talking and everything. I was like, yeah, no, go back and listen to the first few episodes. It took a while, but yeah, no, dude, like it's fucking. It's you know, it's one of those things where it's like perspective, right? Like, how often in life do you really get a mirror held up to you in a real way? How often do you really get to see or hear like what anybody like thinks of anything at all about you? You know what I mean? Like nobody, you know what I mean? Even the best friends, like of course they love you, but like they're never like, oh, you look really good today, man. Or like, I loved that thing you did. Or, you know what I mean? Like, it's very rarely, because it's all, you know, it's just understood. You know what I mean? It doesn't need to be spoken. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, I mean, shit, here we are 104 episodes in. I think I've in person, I've only ever had 2 people that actually have listened to the show tell me what they think of it. Ever. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that I like it or make it for us. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is. So for someone, especially someone that I respect, like that's in a band, especially like Recorruptor, for them to be like, you know, I love what you're doing so much to the point where I want to be on it. Like, holy shit! Like, wow. All right, that's Get the fuck. Let's go. Let's go. I mean, awesome. Just awesome, man.
It's because there's a few times when that's happened in my life, and the first one was, you know, like starting with music and everything.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's kind of the same thing with like you put something out for the world and stuff, and like, you know, if you don't hear anything back on it, like whether or not you're looking for that or not, like you're always like, is it good? Like, you know, and just to kind of get that feedback and stuff is,
you don't know. Yeah, like the post that I had to translate on Facebook that Savages made about the review I did, like, blew me away. Like, I was like, what? Like, holy shit. That, I mean, you know, but it's that kind of stuff, that little, you know, and I say, it's not what I say. Sometimes I say it's what keeps me going, but it's not. I keep doing it because I love doing this. But it's also like, it's those things that really like get me to step on the gas. You know what I mean? Like when fucking Dean Del fucking Ray shares our shit because I went and saw him with Joey Coco Diaz. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like Dean Del Rey, like I've been listening to him nonstop all week. Talk to Corey fucking Taylor, JJ French, Jim Florentine, Joey Coco Diaz. Like, oh my God. Like he's over 500 episodes deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he still gave us a little fucking shout on his fucking man. Holy shit! Like, that's insane. That's insane. What?
It's such a weird because like every so often, you know, like one of us will make a post or whatever, and like you'll get like a shared back or this
artist
person
murder will like
yeah.
it. You know, what?
It's like it's such a weird thing to like be excited about, but at the same time, it's like it's just cool, man. Like
it makes you feel like our community, the heavy metal community, it makes it feel accessible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's part of the whole thing about metal is at the end of the day, like the people that like it because so many people don't. That's not why, but like that's there's a billion people that like it. There's 7 billion people that don't. You know what I mean? So it's like I've always found community and friendship and stuff like that in heavy metal. So to know people on that level aren't like above, like, you know what I mean? Like the people that were like, holy fucking shit, they don't feel that way about themselves, I guess. You know what I mean? We do, for sure. But they're still like, man, you know what I mean? Like they're just fucking like us, you know? They can't believe they get to do what they do. You know what I'm saying? And for them to like kind of, in a sense, acknowledge that by like giving someone extraordinarily small with 87, I think, subscribers on YouTube and maybe 1 or 2 reviews on iTunes, so small like us that it's crazy to me. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. It's just like, yeah, this is never going to stop. We're going to keep going and just keep growing and keep moving.
Oh, it's weird too because like a lot of especially when I was growing up, it was a big thing. Like, you know, it was kind of like it was like a weird transition from like the age of like the big rock stars or whatever and stuff. And like sometimes I find it like kind of hard to like separate, you know, the fact that like, you know, that's not how it is. Anymore, at least. Like,
I think I know. To me, people like.
I hope that makes sense. I don't know.
No. Tell me if this is what you mean. Because to me, the people that we're talking about, the Cannibal Corpse, Dean Del Rey, Joe Rogan, fucking Joey Diaz, Thy Art Is Murder, Black Dahlia Murder, you know, all the stuff that we talk about on this podcast. To me, they're, in my eyes, same level as Guns N' Roses. Same level as Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
I'm just as freaked out talking to Jamie Jasta as when we got to meet him at Harpo's as I would have been if that was all of Iron Maiden sitting there, as opposed to all of Hatebreed. Same feeling going through me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, to me, they're on that same level. For them, even though they're not Lamb of God, you know, even though they're not playing stadiums like Guns and Maiden, to me, there's no reason why they're not, you know, because I see what happens at the small shows. I'm like, this could, and I see them play Wacken or Rock in Rio or Bloodfest or, you know, all the overseas stuff, Rock on the Range maybe even, and Riot Fest. You know, you see them play to those seas of people. You know what I'm saying? Like the Hatebreeds and the Dahlias and the Lamb of Gods, the ones that aren't doing the stadiums, like the Maidens and the Ozzies and stuff. Metallica. But to me, they're all the fucking same playing field. They're on the same level. But at the same time, I don't think Jamie Jasta would think that. I don't think he thinks he's on the same level as Metallica. You know what I'm saying? But we do.
Yeah.
But we do. You know what I'm saying? That's what being a fan is. Like, we're professional fans. That's what we are.
In a weird sort of way. That's exactly what it is. Like,
we understand the etiquette. We understand, you know, we know what being a Punisher is. You know what I mean? Like, and I never want to be, but at the same time, it's like, fuck, man. Like, you don't even know what you've helped me through. Like, holy shit. Like, the day-to-day, just when I would just feel blank or nothing or stressed out or negative or blank, instead I feel amazing because of your music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is.
Well, I've always, it's especially like the bigger ones or like the bands that I've seen that I've been into for a long time. Like sometimes I find it weird, but other times I think it's necessary to be like, to at least like say it, like, like, I just appreciate what you guys are doing and stuff, and like, I because it's gotten me through all kinds of stuff. And
you know what, too,
like,
though, like when they hit a certain level, though, when you hit the Slipknot level, Iron Maiden level, like you're not just dealing with fans like us anymore. You know what I mean? You're dealing with fucking psychos, probably, who are way more than just like punishers. You know what I mean? Like these are people that, not even fans. They're just like bandwagoners a lot. You know what I mean? Like, so when you get to a certain level, I get it. Like you probably want to like insulate yourself a little bit more or whatever. But, fuck the ones that don't, I can't even tell you what people like us, appreciate. It's not even like, I don't know, man, like
it's tough to me because it's kind of like a double-sided thing. Like you want to say your what your appreciation for it and stuff, and you want to express that you're a fan of it and everything, but like you also don't want to like come off the wrong way and like like
you don't want to be a stan.
Yeah.
But it's,
I mean,
I don't think that, I think it really just like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, I guess. I just went like 4 different ways in my head and none of them made sense. But I don't know. I think the idea of just like doing something like you with the music or us with the podcast, the idea that with any of this that we might possibly one day be able to be considered some kind of a peer to these people that work so unbelievably hard and have made it so far in their respective fields, like music or even podcasting. And you know what I mean? Like, that's the other thing too, is like a lot of the bands we listen to, like how do I say this without being a complete dick to everybody else? I mean, I guess I don't know how else to say it. Like fuck it. Like because to people like us, okay, what's some band that everybody loves that I'm not gonna make you do it. All right. Oh wait, shit.
I already had one in mind.
What were you gonna say?
Well, finish your question,
No,
then I'll
say. I'll see if it fits.
Well, I don't know what the full question is.
I know. I'll see if it fits though.
And
if it doesn't, I'll say.
I was gonna say like Bring Me the Horizon.
No, that doesn't really work. No.
Yeah.
I mean, bigger, way bigger.
Like, so
for me, okay, and maybe I'm gonna get. I don't know. I don't know how many people listen to this, so maybe I'll get hate, maybe I won't. But the fucking. I don't like the Beatles. Never have, never been into them. Don't get it. Everybody says without them there wouldn't be anything else. Well, that's not true because they did not influence Black Sabbath, and Black Sabbath is where everything I love comes from. My favorite thing that you've ever said about the Beatles, as a side note, is it sounded old when I was a kid. Yeah, it sounded old in the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay? It just sounded like old people music. Yeah. I didn't get it. Like,
it's true. Like,
it was way just to perform, but so many people of my generation love it.
Yeah.
Still, so that, you know what I mean? But and it's not even necessarily that I think they suck or anything like that. I just don't, it does nothing for me.
Yeah.
To me, it falls on deaf ears. Like, I mean, okay, like there are a couple tracks, like Lucy in the Sky. All right, that's catchy.
Yeah.
And the even crazier part is I love, 9 times out of 10, I would like a cover of a Beatles track more than the Beatles track, especially Guns' covers. Anything they cover, I love. But
What was the full question though?
I've never. No, that was it.
Oh.
I've never. No, that wasn't it. But my thing was to people, so someone like me, and I don't know how you feel about the Beatles, but pick some big band that everybody in the world loves that you don't. So to most of the people we listen to, like let's take a Hatebreed or Lamb of God or Dahlia, they obviously recognize the magnitude of the Beatles. But people like us, fuck the Beatles. Give me more. The Dahlia is the Beatles. The Hatebreed, Lamb of God, Iron Maiden. These are the Beatles to us. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's, you know what I'm saying? Like that's I don't know. That's the reality of the situation. Yeah. It's just the reality of the situation. So, and that's just me. That's just my opinion about that one band. You know what I'm saying? I know everybody loves them. I know I'm a weirdo for not, but
I mean,
apparently, but
I don't really care too much for them.
Yeah, I just don't get it. But and I can't even tell you the fucking. It made me so like there's been a few episodes where Joey Coco Diaz's podcast Church What's Happening Now, where he's talked about how he never really liked the Beatles. He was always just into Crew and metal and stuff like that, and fucking AC/DC and Van Halen, Iron Maiden, and he never liked the Beatles. But like everyone that he went to school with loved the fucking Beatles, and yeah, and he makes jokes that are amazing about. I'm not gonna give away any of his jokes, but like about fucking. Everybody shut up the day John Lennon got shot.
It's either that or the story about Bruce Springsteen. He's always talking shit about Springsteen all the time.
Turn that shit off. Yeah. Oh man.
And like that's the other weird thing too about it is like if I don't know, it's not really this way now, but like if you said anything like disrespectful or like negative about like like Beatles or whatever, like yeah, like you get like jumped possibly.
You get shit.
Or,
certain places it was real. The fighting between genres was a very real thing.
Yeah.
Like if you were a metal band and you played a punk club, you would not have a good time.
Yeah.
Like
which is weird to me because like I started off kind of getting into punk music and then it kind of went into like the heavier stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, like
and to have the two like be like separated and stuff at one time and
hate each other.
Yeah.
Not just separated, hate each other.
Yeah.
Hate. Like neither saw any purpose in existence for the other one.
Yeah.
Like that stuff used to be very real in a sense, because there's two things that come with that. So people, nowadays it's like fucking that's insane. Like all the venues we go to will have heavy metal one night, electronic the next night, country the next night. You know what I mean? There's nothing like that anymore.
Yeah.
At least here where we're from. But back then it was a very real thing, and something that came with that was the respect. Like the identification. The that guy's into that. And so don't play this around him or don't talk shit about that or you know what I mean? Like people actually fucking respected that kind of shit. Whereas nowadays people make fun of you for wearing metal shirts and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we got. And I mean I guess for metal, I guess specifically it's probably always been like that. But I don't know. I don't even know where I was going with that. But yeah, it's just I wish that there was still like not. I don't like infighting of genres, especially when they're all, especially the metal subgenres. Stop it. Stop fighting. There's room for everyone. I want to hear it all.
Yeah.
I love it all. Like just stop it.
Yeah.
So
it's really like the gatekeeping and the elitism that kind of
turn me. Yeah, that's what turns a lot of people off. Fuck it. Stop with the elitism. There's no reason for it. Like absolutely not. Like there's no. You can think you're the best band ever. That's fine. That's you. If you're in a band, you have every right to do that. But don't think that because you're in a genre and that genre. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
it's or a subgenre. Like that's not like death metal isn't better or worse than anything else. It's different than most other things, and same with all the other kinds of metals. Like they're just different, and that's the great thing that I think is about metal is the variety.
Yeah.
Like we don't just have. If all we had was just straightforward, plain and simple death metal, I think it wouldn't be as big as it fucking is. You know what I mean? Like, so let's be real about it. Like, there's room for all. Everybody loves it all. As an I can, and I feel like almost anybody as an individual can go through each subgenre and find, if they're a metalhead, and find at least one thing that they like, and no matter what it is. I can.
Well, that's something that, like, because when I was first getting into heavier stuff, like I kind of like eased into it a little bit, and at the time, like the bands that I listened to weren't like looked at quite as bad as they are now for one reason or another. Maybe some more than others, but like the only thing that I can really relate to like the infighting and stuff is like as of like current stuff is like, there was like the difference between like. There's always that fight between like death metal and deathcore. There's always that fight between like what is like screamo and what is metal. And it's like those two are pretty different.
Screamo is like gone.
Yeah.
Does screamo even exist anymore?
Well, that I feel like kind of turned into like regular like pop punk kind of stuff. Like it kind of went a different way.
Yeah, I guess I could see that.
But like that I think there's a lot of power in realizing that, because I don't really remember when it was exactly, but there was a point where I was like, well, this is like, it's like, I think at one time or another, like it was like if you liked Whitechapel or like Suicide Silence, like you couldn't like Cannibal Corpse. You couldn't like, it was. And
and at that point in time, I was on the Cannibal Corpse side.
It's weird.
I
was
like
on the other
Whitechapel
side.
And Suicide Silence. Yeah. And that's what I love about this. And now like now that I'm older and I can look back and realize, oh, that was fucking. Why did I think that way? That's so dumb. But I had my own reasons, and at the time, it was because for me, it was the look, in a big bad way.
That's
it
fair.
Was the look. I felt like people. I felt like Hot Topic was trying to create this look in people that was like poser. And if you looked that way at all, or if Hot Topic stole the way you look at all, which is probably more like what happened, in the case of Suicide Silence, at least especially, and then Whitechapel sounded like them, you know what I mean? So kind of, so and in that music, like at that point in time, like it sounded more all over the place then than it does to me now and stuff like that. Mm. So like I just never really got it, but I got Cannibal Corpse. You know what I mean? Like I get it. And so if there was any aspect at all that I could look at that point in time, young me, back then, if there was any aspect at all that I could look at and associate with like Poser or Hot Topic or any of that, I was out. Like I was like, no. It's fucking, you need to be in fucking leather, black shirts, jeans, long hair, fucking, you need to be fucking hard and heavy. Fucking, if you want to wear shorts, fine, but they got to be camo shorts or black. Like, you know what I mean? You got to have chains. Fucking, I don't want spikes. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be that. And if it's not that, then it's not fucking metal. Then it's like something for someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no. And then, so now that I get to be older, look back and like realize that was bullshit. And then now, like, I get to like fucking rediscover all those bands again and like go back and like get totally reinvigorated now from the music that I probably should have been into back then, but wasn't. You know what I mean?
Well, it always, and I guess like the biggest reason why I could see like the kind of like pushback from one to the other is like, deathcore definitely when it first came out, it was pretty much, it was pretty like, I guess like simplified a little bit, and it kind of like borrowed a lot from death metal, like that initial, like the bigger sections and stuff, and like musically they were similar and stuff, and I feel like I feel like at the time a lot of people, because I even remember like the early like 2000s, kind of like, you know, when that was the big thing, when that was like the new thing.
Yeah.
Like people were like, oh, well, they're just ripping off this band, or, you know, like they're, you know, and I feel like that kind of like started some, you know, some like pushback for it and stuff. But now, you know, and kind of with what you were saying, like, you know, going back and recognizing that, like, oh, well, they, you know, I like Suicide Silence, and maybe, you know, like looking at it now, like a couple years later, if I wanted something like heavier, like, oh, there's Suffocation, or there's, you know, bands like that still have that same core sound to it and stuff. And like, you know, I guess the one thing that always used to bother me was that people would say like, oh, deathcore is all about like breakdowns and stuff, and like, well, there's like, that's not a new concept.
But I love breakdowns.
Yeah, like the breakdown aspect of heavy music is like, it's not a new thing.
I'm sorry, do you have a problem with it just getting crazy hard? Like,
it's
what?
like, oh, it's
I don't
just
get the problem with breakdowns. I don't understand, because to me, I love gallops.
Yeah.
I love breakdowns. Like, those are fucking awesome. Like, why do people? I don't get why people have a problem with it. I don't understand.
It's not.
I don't understand.
Yeah, it's not so much anymore. But I remember that being like, oh, it's all breakdown. Well, fucking Cannibal plays breakdowns. Like,
sort of.
You know, it's
they
different.
They do have their own style of it. But yeah they do. Oh, I love a good break.
Yeah. There's
God, makes you want to hit shit.
Yeah.
Love it so much.
Kind of going back to your point, you know, like there's something about, like, you know, that point that you reach where you're like, oh, like, well, this is kind of cool, like that, all, you know, something that you used to not really care for because of one reason or another. You kind of go back and you're like, all right, this is, you know, like this was popular for a reason, or this was, you know,
and you know too, like, it was also like, I guess we've talked about this before, but I was fucking, you know, because I wasn't around any metalheads. I was the only one that I was around on a regular basis. And so I had to like kind of create the heavy metal identity through, you know, my own path and what that was. So I guess my perspective is pretty fucking skewed in a lot of ways, because I was forming it through like, you know, VH1 shows on like metal countdown shows and Headbangers Ball and fucking, you know, stuff like that. And if it wasn't that, that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
well, also like
now looking back, I'm like, well, that was fucking dumb. And this music is amazing.
Yeah.
And now I have a whole bunch of awesome shit I can get into, you know, however many years later. So now I look, you know, I'm kind of twisting it to be a benefit in a way. But at the same time, I do think every metalhead needs to go through their little elitist phase, you know, whether they come out of it or not. I think it is a step in the process in a lot of ways. Because, like, we all find the first thing we love and we're like, this is the fucking, everything is worse than this. And then you find other stuff.
It's the same reason why your favorite band's like newest album isn't as good as the old stuff, because you hold on to it so tightly that like
sentimental value.
You can't let the new thing be better than the old thing because for whatever reason, like
and that's why, you know what, for me personally, I look, when I look at stuff like that, I distinguish from myself. I look at it as I'm able to judge something as my favorite as like my favorite thing isn't necessarily the best thing I think the band has ever done. I'm able to distinguish between my favorite thing the band has ever done and being able to judge it from a musical, you know, non-biased, honest perspective as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that.
I can view something as the best thing the band's ever done, even if it's not my favorite thing the band's ever done. Like, I recognize the sentimental value I have with certain albums. Those are always going to be my favorite albums by that band for the sentimental reasons. That doesn't mean they can't ever top that musically for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
well,
I think more people need to be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, you set standards so high that, and like, like you I mean, obviously the first thing that really gets you into,
It's
like
never.
let's so I guess like the only thing I can think of, and I guess to like for both of us really in a relatable sense is like Ashes of the Wake,
Yeah.
for example. Like that is like critically, commercially, everything else, like that is their best album to
Yeah.
like 98% of the fan base, I guess.
Yeah.
But to me, like I like Sacrament, I like Wrath. Those are two of like the favorites to me, but they're not the most like, you know.
And but see, I also recognize like nothing is ever gonna hit me the way Ashes did
Quite.
again.
Yeah.
Because it hit me at a certain point in time, but never really heard anything quite like that.
Yeah.
And it, you know what I mean? So all those elements of it, the way, nothing's ever gonna hit me. No Iron Maiden record is ever gonna hit me the way Number of the Beast did the first time I heard it. You know what I mean? And I recognize that, but that doesn't mean that band is never going to release something that is musically better.
That's yeah.
And I'm 100% down for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I take the ride. That's why I don't know if a lot of people like follow bands through their careers anymore, like we do. You know what I mean? Like metalheads still do. But and even if a band comes out with a record I don't like at all, I'll still get the next one. You know what I'm saying? If it's a band I love. If the next Lamb of God album is nothing but clean singing, I'm not going to be happy, but I'm going to get the next Lamb of God album after that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just like Iron Maiden, just like all of them. Like, I'm taking the ride. I want to experience the career, the whole span of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because of what I love so much from them at all,
Yeah.
Fucking insane.
That's a real different perspective on, how things are. I mean, and it's hard to say if like, with, because I remember like the like the MySpace days and all that stuff, and like being like
Fuck yeah.
the initial kind of like way that people talked about music and stuff and determined whether or not something was good or whatever.
Yeah.
And like like I wonder if it's because I don't know, I guess like if I were like 16 now trying to find new music, like how, first of all, like how would I do it, and also is the atmosphere of like the fan base and of like just metal in general, like is it the same as it was, like is it as like is there as much of a push as there was back then, or was it like, oh well, if I mean, I don't know, like is it the same, or is it like, because like to me I feel like it's kind of like it's gotten a bit more tame to me in terms of like, I mean, there's always going to be that elitism, there's always going to be that, the people that are like, oh, you can't listen to this because it's poser shit or whatever, like
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm curious as to like, because like I don't find music like that anymore. Like I try to stay away from like the like the toxic like Facebook groups and like all that stuff about like it's just one thing. Like every so often I'll be following like a fan page or something that's like, oh well, give me something that sounds like this, or like like I like, I don't know, like Flesh God or something, like what's something that I could listen to that's like this or whatever.
Yeah.
It seems a bit more like in tune with like the community aspect, instead of just like the like you can't listen to this because it's whatever. I don't know if that makes any sense. But.
The only kind of like negative thing on, because I'm in a lot of heavy metal, death metal, black metal, groups on Facebook and stuff, and there was one like kind of negative sort of experience I had. All right, hold on, we'll take a. Yeah, the only kind of like negative thing I've had yet so far with like any of those groups is I posted on a bunch of the groups, I posted the episode of The Church of What's Happening Now with Wendy Dio, the wife of Dio.
Oh, yeah.
And all of them accepted it except for the black metal group. They're like, black metal only. I'm like, come on. You're all fans of Dio, you fucks. Come on. It's fucking Dio. Come on. Like, if you can't listen, if you listen to Dio, if you listen to, like, grab, like, fuck it. Just fucking grab, like, the Best of the Beast or whatever. The Best of album. If you get top to bottom in that, and it never once makes you stand up and shout, then I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like, are you even human? Like, I don't know. Holy shit.
Dude,
Stand up and shout. Oh my God, dude.
Classic.
Oh, caught in the middle. Oh. God.
Well, I guess in defense of black metal, like it's always been like that. Like that's the one community that's always like
the most elitist.
True, like, you know, yeah.
Stand up and down. Straight to the heart, dude.
Man. Oh,
straight
dude.
to
the hits.
Shame on the night.
Yeah.
Shame on the motherfucking. Oh my God. Oh my God. The very beast of Dio, that was it.
That's right, yeah.
Hungry for Heaven. Oh, man, on the Silver Mountain, dude. That is Mr. Crowley level shit we're talking about. Like, I could have been a dreamer. Oh, my God. Dream Evil? Fuck. I need to listen to Dio. I'm obsessed. Dude, I fucking love Dio so much.
Usually whenever I need like a, you know, like a
He's
good,
on my fucking door.
Yeah.
He's on my door. Go on though, sorry.
No, that's important. Just, you know, whenever I like need like a boost or something like during the day, it's either his stuff or like number or not I don't know, just like Pantera to me, like,
my God. Fucking hostile.
Yeah.
Dude. Yes, dude. Holy shit. Wait, fuck. What was that? Oh, yeah. No, man. I mean, of all, honestly, so I actually have a running list that I need to cross-reference with Preston because I know I'm missing some. But I have a running list of legend gods that I've been fortunate enough to see before they've died.
Oh, man.
And on the top of that list is Dio.
Yeah,
dude. Like, I cannot looking back and realizing the gravity of what I saw. I didn't know what I was seeing at the time. What I saw, I didn't see Dio solo. Yeah. I saw Dio with all of Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
The Heaven and Hell tour with Machine Head and Megadeth opening. Like, it.
I couldn't believe when you told me that was when you saw him. I was like, what?
That was one of my first ever shows, dude.
Yeah.
That was like 2006 or 7 or something. Like, one of our first ever shows, and it was unbelievable. Like, I've seen Dio, I've seen Lemmy, I saw Mitch Lucker, I saw Wayne Static.
Yeah.
And I always forget. I feel so bad because I always forget his goddamn name. But I saw the Typo singer.
Oh.
I saw Typo Negative with the original singer. Yeah, I always forget his fucking name. Here, look it up. I saw Kevin Dubrow.
Out of respect.
Yeah, I saw Kevin Dubrow, the original frontman of Quiet Riot. I saw him sing with Quiet Riot. Incredible.
Dude, I bet that was insane.
Well, for me and Preston, it was. For me and Preston, it was one of the greatest things we've ever seen. But
Peter Steele,
yeah. Fucking A. So, and yeah, it was one of the greatest things we ever seen. But the crowd was terrible. But yeah, it was fucking amazing. Seen Malcolm Young with AC/DC. I saw Vinnie Paul with Hell Yeah. And Preston saw Odorous.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I bet that was sick.
Yep. I think you might have even seen them more than once with Odorous. I only saw Guar after Odorous passed, but yeah, Preston got to see Odorous.
And that's like,
And I know I'm missing. I know there's others that I'm missing, like big one. I know there's like some other big one that I'm missing.
are we talking about people that have like legend or like, you know,
guys we've seen that have died?
that have I was gonna say, well, I won't even put that out there for the sake of
Were you about to say someone's not dead yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. Don't put that out there. Don't put that out there. But
because
yeah, just
I know
guys that we've seen that we've been lucky enough to see basically before for their time.
I saw after the burial before their guitar player.
Oh
passed.
shit! Oh wow!
Yeah,
Holy
a couple of
shit.
times. Yeah, I think last time I saw him was at the loft. It was cool.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that was sick. I'm trying to think of some others.
Yeah, I know there's some that I know I'm missing.
I saw Slipknot before the whole, like, I saw the original lineup of Slipknot.
Fuck. I wonder if I saw Paul.
Yeah.
I can't remember if they were at one of the Mayhem Fests before he died that I was at or not.
I know.
So what year did he die?
That was 2012. No.
I thought it was 2000.
Let me
15 is when Great Chapter came out, I think. Yeah. Fact check.
I want to be
Fact checking this shit.
2010. So
He died in 2010?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
I don't think I saw him before then.
what year was the first Mayhem Fest?
Probably like 9 or 10, but I didn't go to the first one. The first one was Disturbed.
With them and
I did not go. I did not go to that one. I was in the parking lot actually, and that same day, like I drove Preston to that show, and then got in the car and drove down to Freedom Hill to see Somebody and Poison because Mayhem was sold out.
Oh shit!
So we couldn't get in. So we went. I was like, "Well, Poison's playing. Let's go see them."
Yeah, it was Slipknot, Disturbed, Dragon Force, Mastodon, Under Oath, Machine Head, Suicide Silence, The Red Chord, Five Finger, Airborne, all those bands. So, but yeah, and that was.
Did you go to that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I wanted to really bad, but I didn't. That was. But yeah, the first I saw Slipknot, All Hope Is Gone tour with Coheed, Cambria, and Trivium. And that was like that was with like Joey. That was with everybody. Like I still like that's I wish I could go back to that show. Like
that was 2008 was the first one.
Oh, Mayhem Fest. Yeah. Because the All Hope Is Gone was 2009.
So the first one I went to was 2009. But that Mayhem Fest was Manson and Slayer.
Yeah.
And Killswitch Engage, I think. Yep, with Cannibal.
Behemoth
and Dahlia and Whitechapel.
Dude, I was
Trivium, God Forbid, Job for a Cowboy. Yeah. I think that's the one. Yeah, that's the one I was on the stage. I was on the side of the stage for Killswitch with Howard during Holy Diver.
Dude, that would have been sick.
It was insane.
I never saw Killswitch with Howard before.
I saw him there. And then the next year was Korn and Zombie and Lamb of God. I definitely went to that one.
Yeah.
And then that was 2010. So, yeah, I think the first time I saw Slipknot was on Mayhem in
2010.
2012.
2012? Yeah, that sounds about right.
With Slayer and Motorhead. And that was the first time I saw Motorhead as well.
Yep.
And Anthrax and Whitechapel. And there were, I know there were a lot more than that. But maybe I was just going for Slayer and Motorhead. But yeah, So I would not have seen. Paul died in 2010. Yeah. So I would not have seen him then.
Yeah.
Nope. But you saw the original lineup.
Like that's, and that like not only was that the original, but that was my like very like gigantic heavy metal show.
Yeah.
Like that was, I still like I wish I could go back to that. Like there's so many times I'm like, man, And like
It's insane.
I didn't even really. I mean, I don't know.
You don't realize it.
Yeah.
You don't realize it at the time.
Yeah.
But you look back and you're like, fuck, I saw that? Like, I saw that.
Yeah.
I did? Holy shit. Yeah, I do remember it, but holy shit. Like, no, like that's the thing. It's like, I remember when I first started going to shows, my first show would have been 2005 or 6. Five, I think. And the you know, I remember at that point in time being bummed, super bummed all the time that I missed Black Sabbath with or Ozzy with Randy Rhoads, or Black Sabbath or Maiden on the Number of the Beast tour, or Megadeth on the fucking Rust in Peace tour, or you know, I remember being bummed that I missed that shit and not even realizing at the time that what I was seeing would one day be viewed similar to that shit, at least by me.
Yeah.
You know? Fuck. You know what I mean? You don't realize it at the time when you're young going to it, especially if you're doing it alone, especially if you're the one that's into it. You don't have an older brother or a dad or an uncle or anything like that that's taking you to the shows. It's just you and your friend. You guys are experiencing this together for the first time. You have nothing to base it off of. You're just going on your own. You know what I mean? You're learning, you know, the same way everybody else does. So, I mean, you know, when you just go it alone, it's like that's just, you know what I mean? Like, you don't realize what you're seeing. There's no one there to tell you, hey, remember this.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to look back on this one day and it's going to blow your fucking... That's what I wanted to tell those kids at the Cannibal show that we were at last week. Those kids that were in the pit, like those 13, 14-year-old kids. I looked at them, I saw little me and Preston, and I just wanted to, like, remember this forever. You will look back on this one day and be like, that was one of the greatest fucking shows of our lives. Yeah. Like, oh, man.
You ever, like, because, I mean... Now, you know, we go to shows every few months or every like
month.
At least
every
once
month.
a month.
At least once a month.
Yeah.
At least once a month.
Well, yeah, but like
I'm at 21 for the year. 22 actually.
Yeah. Shit, I didn't realize that.
It's November.
Yeah.
But I got nothing else for the rest of the year, so.
Well, regardless, like, you know, you still, you know, it's you know, and sometimes it's hard to not feel like spoiled, I guess, in a sense, because like if you can take yourself back to like you know, because now it's not that big. I mean, it is a big deal depending on who you're seeing. It's, you know, depending on like, you know, all the circumstances and stuff, like where you're at and everything. But like, I remember, especially like, you know, the first, you know, like seeing Slipknot for the first time, like that was, or like going to the first Mayhem Fest I ever went to, like that was gigantic. Like that was a big deal to me.
Oh yeah.
And like
huge, dude. The first Mayhem Fest, I mean, I guess comparatively, because by the time I had gone to Mayhem Fest, it's always at DT. I've been there a bunch of times. My big first thing there was Ozfest. So yeah, like going to that was, oh no,
I know.
I'm looking.
You still got a 2007 Ozfest shirt hanging right there.
That's the one. Yeah. That's the one I went to. That's the greatest shirt that I own.
Yeah.
That's one of the best shows I ever saw in my fucking life. It was unbelievable.
And it's like nobody probably, or like you didn't even know probably that in, you know, 10 years from that.
I'd look back at it that way. Yeah. No. I didn't know when I went to that would be the last ever touring Ozfest.
Oh, that was
the last one.
Was the last.
They never they did Ozfest after that, but never toured again.
Yeah.
So
I always kind of wish that I would have gone to the last Mayhem Fest.
Me too. Wait.
In a weird sort of way. No.
Yeah, we didn't like any of the bands, yeah.
Well,
but I don't think we knew that was going to be the last one either at the time, you know what I mean? Now there's even talks, there's no reason not to bring it back. You got to be fucking stupid not to bring that shit back. If you just look at what happened last summer with between the Slayer tour and the Slipknot tour, like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean...
Shit, every date sold out? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And put those two tours together, that's a Mayhem Fest.
Yeah.
What more do you want? Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, it's obvious that the audience is there.
The last
We're all still here.
the last year was 2015.
Yeah, something like that.
So the last Mayhem Fest year was Slayer, King Diamond, Hell Yeah, Devil Wears Prada, Whitechapel, Thy Art, Jungle Rot, Sworn In, Sister Sin.
Why the fuck didn't I go to that?
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Jesus Christ.
Like,
wait, 2015?
50, yeah.
I don't know why.
Well,
It was in a weird time.
well,
2015 was a weird time. That's all. I was in a weird place. I wasn't going to a lot of shows in general. So I had lost my way in the force. I needed to find the force again, and I did.
You know?
Started this podcast. So,
but yeah, I mean, to kind of circle back, like, you know, you don't really know what you're watching sometimes, and
Nope.
and that was the other thing is, like, you know, I guess to kind of get back to my point was, you know, like we see probably, like, I guess, like 20 to like 25 shows a year, like big shows, like
call it 20, 25 shows a year, and even that, so that means we're seeing anywhere from 50 to 100 bands live a year.
Yeah,
probably more.
My problem that I have that I'm really trying to like stop myself from, and it's, I don't know. I don't know if it made a difference in like the decisions of which ones I go to or not, but like I have a hard time not feeling like well, you know, like I could go or I could not, and like, oh, it's not that big a deal, like, oh, I'll catch them on the next one or the other one, but like sometimes, like, the lineup that you should see is the one that they're on right now, but you don't realize it until afterwards, and you start like getting into all these other bands and stuff. And the ones, a lot of times, the more like the ones that they're on tour with, like, I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, I know, like I think Thy Art and Acacia Strain did a tour together a long time ago, and for one reason or another, I wasn't able to make it or whatever. But like, I'm as into both those bands I've ever been, and like seeing that now just makes me sad that I never, you know,
I mean, let's be real. Thank fuck we saw Children of Bodom all those times.
I was getting to that.
Thank fuck we saw Lamb of God all those times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're 100% right. You never know.
Yeah.
How what's gonna go down. So. And
sometimes it's like, you know, I mean, and it's not to say that like, you know, I mean, I don't know, I'm rambling, I guess, but like a big part of the reason that I try to, you know, go to things, even though I'm kind of like either on the fence about it or whatever, and is like, you know, it's that thought that's like, oh, well, you know, this, it sucks to have it, but at the same time, it's like, it's the reality of it. It's like, well, you know, this, who knows. You know?
Maybe I'll catch him next time.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
There might not be a next time.
No. Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Always go when you get the chance.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it fucking comes down to. And it sucks when you miss it sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially when you, like, have to, you know what I mean? Like, oh, man.
I've thought of a few ones that like that's happened with. I'm like, man.
What up? Yeah.
So
There's been a lot, actually. Oh, man. There's been a lot. Odorous. I had numerous chances to fucking see Guar before Odorous died. And I just never did. And they were one of the first, like, fucking things I was into that could even be classified as heavy metal. Because that's one of the first things my uncle showed me. Never had a chance. Let's see what else. I never had a chance to. Nope. I never had a chance to see Dime. I never had a chance. I mean, like, I know he played Michigan while I was alive, but like he died when I was like, I think like before I ever went to a show. He died before I ever went to, I think 13 or 14, right? Yeah, he died before I ever went to a concert. So, and then let's see. Yeah, I don't know.
Did you ever see the original like Last Kind Words Devil Driver lineup? I feel like we have. I feel like that's like, or maybe like the better lineup of.
Oh wait, the lineup, like, was the Last Kind Words lineup the same as Beast, and stuff?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then. Oh yeah.
Cause,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. I saw them. Yeah, dude. Like 1,000 times before the big lineup change for sure. Because the lineup change only happened on the last, I mean, technically 2 albums. So, yeah, I saw them a bunch of times. Incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, that lineup was the one that Medica opened for at Harpo's.
Oh,
So,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that, yeah. Yeah, I met the fucking drummer. He bummed a cigarette off me.
Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me that story.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was awesome. And he not only... So most people that bum the cigarette, they walk away. He stood there and talked to us. And I was standing there with all of Medica. And they all knew who we were talking to.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just fucking... He smoked the whole cigarette and just had a conversation with us. It was super fucking nice. Like, just chill, normal dude. Like... But oh yeah, also I'm like one of the best fucking metal drummers on earth, motherfucker. Like, holy shit. Yeah, no, he was great. Yeah.
I thought of another one. I saw it was at the Loft of all places. It was Architects before their guitar player passed away.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. I think I think because I was looking through my CDs and stuff when I was moving, and I found the one where I saw like the lineup that they were before all that and stuff, and I was trying to figure out because like some of them are kind of like hard to read or whatever, but like I bought something there and I had them all signed it and stuff, and so it's a possibility that I have like you know one of the last like signed albums from like the full lineup of that band. Like I'll have to figure it out because. I mean, that would be insane.
You and I both have some of the last fucking posters ever signed by the lineup of Children of Bodom.
That's true, yeah.
I mean...
yeah, that was recent,
And
too.
I actually have a ticket stub signed by them before the guitarist left.
Yeah. Oh, I actually saw it. That was Mayhem Fest.
Mayhem Fest, yeah. Damn. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, because they were just sitting there, and I looked over, I was like, Preston.
Are you seeing this?
Preston, Children of Bodom sitting at the table right now. There's just a line right, it ends right where we're standing.
Yeah.
Like, we're in line. We didn't even realize it. Like,
I remember
what the fuck?
one of the weirder things that happened was like waiting at like the Monster tent and thinking like, oh, we're just gonna get like drinks or whatever, and it was in line for Mastodon.
Mastodon. Someone answers a poster, and Mastodon signs in. I was in line for a rock star, and I got him to sign the Mastodon poster. What the fuck? Yeah, that was crazy. And then, we realized there was no line for the drinks. Yeah. You just walk in like an asshole. Like, what the fuck? But hey, I still have that poster. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, I know. So do I.
I got this. We got same thing with Anthrax too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still have the Anthrax. I know where the Anthrax was. I don't know what the fuck happened to the Mastodon one though. I gotta find that.
I got to see Job for a Cowboy at the same Mayhem Fest too.
Yeah.
That was before they split up, so they're not a band, or they're
not a band. You know, I kind of was wondering whatever happened to them the other day.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They got some bangers. Like they got some really solid albums you should listen to. I think you'd really like it.
Job for Cowboy.
Yeah.
You know, they're one of those bands I never gave a chance. I never gave them a chance because I was like, oh, another fucking Suicide Silence. You know what I mean?
They started off as that, and their first album is definitely that. But like, dude, like Genesis.
But I like Suicide Silence now, so I don't even care.
Yeah, but they were one of those bands that got lumped into that like deathcore thing. You know,
so I don't like the new singer. Suicide. I don't like that last album.
Yeah. I don't think anybody did.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Hey. What are you doing?
What?
The fucking. Come on. Sorry. Yep, there we go. Sorry, everyone. We thought we might have audio difficulties, but we did not. Anyway,
I'll have to get you into some Job for Cowboy.
Yeah.
Some real good, Genesis, Ruination is good. The Gloom EP is really sick. I'll say like the first EP that they ever put out has got Entombment of a Machine on it.
Did you see what's? Yep. All right. Very good. Josh just got home, everybody. But yeah, the Job for Cowboys one I never get a chance to. Even though I saw them numerous times live.
Yeah, they were at one of the last Mayhem Fest.
Yeah.
You want to?
I should give them give them another crack.
Yeah.
Give them another crack just as all the others because Suicide Silence. I mean, I don't, you know.
Did you? That was one of the things I was.
I haven't heard
up.
the new song.
You haven't?
Nope.
It's not bad.
You know.
It's a return to form from, and I was actually talking about it to my singer buddy Alex about it, and like I want to be excited about the new one, and it is like it's solid. I really like it. I like what they're doing, but at the same time, like I don't want it to be like so much of a return to that original that it's like fan servicey. You know what I'm saying?
Who is this guy?
Well, what do you mean?
The singer.
He used to sing for All Shall Perish, who is another band
Okay.
you should look up because they're really sick. They only had like
Heard
4
of 'em.
albums. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have to, both those bands I'll have to get you into.
Okay.
But so they were in Suicide Silence and All Shall Perish came about at around the same time, which is how I kind of knew about them. And honestly, All Shall Perish is way like they're a bit more technical than Suicide Silence ever were, but like they would tour all the time and stuff.
Mhm.
And there was the Mitch Lucker thing that happened, the memorial show.
Yeah.
Where they had like a bunch of them on it and stuff, and he was one of them. And I guess like I don't know if that was like the point where they decided like he was the next guy or whatever, but like I don't know. So, but at the time like he was known, and to me like I was like, what's the problem? Like, you know, and they put out an album that was called You Can't Stop Me before the self-titled, which is like nobody really talks about that one anymore because it's, you know, it's just not that good. And like I even gave it a good, like, you know, because when it first came out I was like, you know, I kind of went with everybody else on it. I was like like it's, you know, it's whatever. But like then I actually went back and listened to it and I was like, this is kind of not good. Like I don't even really like this, and I can usually find the good in something about everything. Like I try to. And I was like, yeah, this ain't it. But like, you know, they put out an album before that was really solid. That was like around, you know, like kind of in the same vein of what we're used to hearing from and stuff.
Yeah.
And then this new one is going to be interesting because it's not like the sidestep that the last album was, but it's also like it would have made sense for that one to come before the last one, if that makes sense. If you kind of get me.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, like I don't want them to go back to what they used to do because people bitch about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I want it to be like a genuine effort. I don't want it to be like, oh well, everybody was bitching about it, so I guess we'll go back to making something else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But having said that, like I dig it. Like I think it's cool. You know,
yeah.
It's heavy again. There's no like singing on it and stuff, and not that I have a problem with that. In any way, like this is, you know, Suicide Silence we're talking about.
That's the thing.
And
that's the thing is
like,
there are just certain bands where you have cultivated a sound.
Yeah.
And if that sound does not include clean singing, if that's the thing,
Yeah.
like Cannibal Corpse can't ever have clean singing. I would argue the same thing for Lamb of God. I would argue the same thing for Children of Bodom or Devil Driver. You know what I mean? Like, you've cultivated a sound like Led Zeppelin, like Black Sabbath, like to where the second you can hear 5 seconds of a song and know who it is,
you're like,
because you've cultivated this very specific sound.
Yeah.
And if you fuck with that, then all of a sudden,
It's very
I mean,
polarizing.
some people, you know, and some artists, that's all they want to do is fuck with that.
Yeah.
They want to create an album, have everybody like it, and then do something completely different. And, but at the same time, in metal, it's a little different. Things are a little different here. And in metal, it's like there's kind of like this understanding that we just want. It's not more of the same, but we want. I mean, at least I can speak for myself. At least I want an evolution of the sound that I love. You know what I mean? I want to hear it go through changes.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want it to be something different entirely. And when you change the vocals, I mean, that's something different. You can even throw an acoustic intro in. You can, you know, a keyboard intro in or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
But fucking not clean vocals. That's a very different animal altogether. Here, hold on one second. Here's mine. Go for it. Have you watched any of Mandalorian yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's good.
Should I?
Oh, it's good. Yeah, if you like Star Wars, it's good.
I just got on that Disney Plus thing. So
You got it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's on there. So yeah.
Like there's some really like nostalgia and I don't know. We'll get back to what we were talking about. But I guess like side note like that, you know, I feel like I'll probably use it as much as Netflix, which isn't a whole lot. but for $6, you know, for six a month.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Like it's
pretty good actually. It's pretty good for what you get for sure. Especially once the Marvel stuff starts dropping.
Yeah. And like I mean, they got all the Star Wars movies on there. Like
really?
Yeah.
They have all the Avengers and all the
So like it's, you know.
Okay.
It's pretty worth it, I guess.
I see what you're playing at here. Okay.
But so yeah.
What were we talking about?
Bands putting in clean singing where it wasn't normally.
I just don't like it. That's just me.
Well,
but I don't like it.
I'm like torn about it because
here's my thing is like if the singer wants to do cleans, just start another band. Let's do a side project.
Yeah.
Do a side project where you do that. Just like Mark Morton. Just like, you know, a lot of Corey Taylor, like a lot of others, you know what I mean? Like if you want to do something different, do a side project. Don't do it in the thing that you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in the thing that we love. Like,
I mean, I have a hard time agreeing with that.
And I'll even buy the side project and enjoy it and respect it for what it is and be totally into it.
Yeah.
But that's just the way I think things should go. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm an idiot. I don't know.
No, I mean it's valid. It's a valid point. I think that like the suicide silence thing is a rare case because it's what happens when you lose a main member of a band that everybody you know.
That is a unique case.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
that's a fucking AC/DC situation.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you do?
Yeah.
What the fuck do you do? Yeah. And AC/DC got lucky.
Yeah.
But Suicide Silence so far, maybe not so much.
I'm not. Yeah. It's tough, and because honestly, like when I first heard that Eddie from All Shall Perish was gonna be the vocalist, I was like, fuck yeah, makes sense. Like, you know, like they're both deathcore bands. They're both in the same kind of thing. Like they both have similar range and stuff. But I think it was more like Suicide Silence having more of like an identity crisis kind of deal. Like we're trying to come back from this tragedy that happened. That like where do you go? You know, like are we the same band anymore, or is it kind of something different and stuff? And
Slipknot went through it. Fucking Ozzy went through it. Fucking Fuck, I just had another one. Yeah, like lots. Oh, Metallica.
Yeah,
with Cliff Burton.
Easily, yeah.
Yeah, like you know what I mean, like fucking.
You know, it's always interesting to me to see like you know where it goes from there. You know, because a lot of times, like, you know, all these bands could have easily just be no more. Like, could have just broken up and stuff. Yeah. But they choose to, like, keep going and everything. And, like, you know, like, you got to kind of keep that in perspective when you're, you know, kind of going into it and stuff. You know, like, whether or not you like it, it's like, well, is it an honest effort and does it make sense with kind of what happened? Yeah. You know, which is why I think I liked You Can't Stop Me a lot. I think there was a lot of solid stuff on it. I think it was, I mean, they did a song with Corpse Grinder on it.
Really?
Yeah, that's really sick.
Huh.
The Black Crown had a song with Frank from Suffocation on it.
Black Crown has Mitch on it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
okay, yeah.
to kind of, you know.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean,
I
you
thought
know,
we were
there's
talking about post Mitch still. Sorry.
yeah. Well, I was, but you know, it's like there's little things that like, you know, that just kind of like make sense, and that like it's like, oh well, you know, it's still, you know, like that's possible.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the new Josta album's gonna have Corpse Grinder.
it's still
on it.
yeah.
Do you have Gas Digital still?
I don't. I need to get back on
No.
that.
All right. I was gonna say he said there are 6 songs
Yeah.
released on Gas Digital, and I'm like, fuck, what are
Oh
those
shit.
songs?
Yeah.
Fuck.
He's like, what was it, like $5? Something like
I don't
that.
know.
5 or 6.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to get on there.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited for that album.
Yeah.
The Josta record. Yeah, I am. I didn't like. I wasn't like the first single. I wasn't like, oh my god, but I was like, it's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
That's
But
yeah.
it didn't like totally blow me away. But I'm really excited for the rest of the album. Like I pre-ordered it, so
Oh hell yeah.
it's coming.
Nice.
Here we go. I'm ready. Josta Lost Chapters Part 2.
Dude, the first Lost Chapters is,
Oh, I love it.
and like even God, what is the name of the first self-titled you put out?
Josta.
Yeah, just
Just Josta.
I couldn't
Yeah.
remember if it was
Yeah.
But yeah, that one's even still.
It's got Randy on it.
Yeah.
Inside.
Yeah.
Depraved. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
Mark Morton on guitar solo on
my
the last song.
God.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. I'm excited for the next one. There's a lot of albums coming.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, no, I want to read you something though. Before this episode ends, I want to do
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Because I was about to oh shit, my fucking shit fell out. Hold on. Okay. So, oh man. I gotta find it again. Hold on one second. I do have it. I just gotta find it in the pictures. Happened before Metal Fest. Come on. Oh. And come on. Right there. Okay. So, as a joke, and until I found out it cost money to apply for colleges back when I was a senior in high school, when you're supposed to apply for colleges or whatever, I wanted to apply to Harvard.
Yeah.
Like just to have the rejection letter. You know what I mean? I just wanted the rejection letter from Harvard. When I found out it cost like $60 or $50 to apply, I was like, fuck that, it's not worth it. So
Okay. All right, go on. I'm sorry.
So, okay, look, I don't know the legitimacy of this. I don't know how real this is, but this is something my sister showed me while we were on vacation in Scotland. It's a rejection letter from Harvard.
Is it yours or is it? Oh yeah, 'cause you never.
No, it's just something online, I guess, or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's for someone named. It says, "Dear Mr. McGain, thank you for your interest in Harvard College. After careful consideration of your application, I am sorry to inform you that we are unable to offer you a place in the class of 2019. This year's application pool was the strongest in the college's history, and we are unable to offer admission to every student, regardless of their proficiency in, quote, dank memes, end quote, or their level of, quote, swag money, end quote, with multiple Y's. Although your GPA and ACT score were certainly up to our standards, your essays raised some eyebrows at the admissions meeting. For future reference, it is not wise to start an essay with the words, quote, listen here, you little slanks, end quote, and end with, quote, McGain out, drops mic, end quote. We also didn't need a copy of your mixtape, regardless of how fire it is. One admission counselor actually listened to it, and we are pretty sure 40 minutes of you making animal noises does not fire. In parentheses. 40 minutes. Someone at Harvard sat there and listened for 40 minutes
The
of someone
entirety.
making animal noises. In addition, we will be In addition, we will be returning your copy of Grown Ups 2 signed by Chancellor Angela Merkel because you said it's your greatest possession and we don't want it.
Who was it signed by?
Angela Merkel. She's the Chancellor Angela Merkel, the Chancellor from Germany.
Yeah. Okay.
Just a copy of Grown Ups 2 signed by the Chancellor of Germany. We also suggest obtaining recommendation letters from teachers or trusted mentors. Not my number 4 side hoe Derek or Chief Keef, who submitted a picture of a dinosaur drawn in crayon on rolling paper. We greatly appreciate your interest in Harvard, and we offer our best wishes of success as you pursue your educational goals. And that's the end of it. I don't know how real this is.
Part of me wants to think it's just somebody like messing with them just to see if it works.
I almost think the whole thing is probably fake because I don't know if anyone at Harvard would have written this or listened to 40 minutes of someone making animal noises.
Yeah.
But it's probably all fake. But I read that shit. I don't know where it comes from online, but it made me laugh so fucking hard when I first heard it. Oh my God. So, the 40 minutes of animal noises just made me think if I had sent them a fucking vaccination CD.
Yeah.
Because on MySpace, remember when you were banned on MySpace, you could like put like what you sound like.
Yeah.
And Preston wrote on MySpace, and he wrote a bag of cats being beaten. So the idea of a 40-minute animal noise thing kind of hit home a little bit.
Of all the times it could be relatable, I guess.
Right.
Like
Oh my God, dude. That shit is so fucking funny. I read that and I laughed really hard. But anyway, you got anything else for this episode? Any bog wraith news? Anything you just want to talk about?
Well, we're because we're coming up on the last part of the year, last month of the year, as we're recording this. It's November 18th, so we got about 2.5 to 2 weeks left. Been talking about back and forth kind of about the album of the decade kind of deal. Like, what's your how far along are you with that?
Well, there are still some albums coming out that I need to listen to.
Yeah. Anything this year that you would consider album of the decade?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, album of the decade?
Yeah. Not of the year.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, album of the decade. I haven't gone as deep into as album of the year yet.
Okay.
But I have kind of sort of started it. I'm nowhere near picking just one though.
Yeah.
No. I'm not there yet.
Like, what's your top right now?
I don't know. Fuck. Because that's the problem is when you actually look back at the things you got into, a lot of it was stuff that wasn't in this decade. You know what I mean? Like maybe you got into it later or whatever.
Right.
I know certain things that are for sure going to be on the list. Like I know for me, at least, because keep in mind, everyone, these lists that we make, all right, these are just these aren't what we think is best. These are our favorite. Yeah. This is what we liked, and that's it. That's all. Yeah. That's all we're saying. So there are definitely, I know definitely certain things that I want to make an appearance on that list. Things like Battlecross, Dahlia, the Children of Bodom, Lamb of God. You know, there are fucking others that I have them all written down. There are others. But yeah, so, you know, I guess I would describe it as a very, very, very rough draft of my thoughts. But I'm nowhere near figuring out what the top one is.
Yeah.
Because of all the ones I have, I feel like they all are, for me personally, perfectly placed not at the top. So I haven't found my top contender yet, basically, is what I'm saying.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? Have you even...
I haven't even started yet, honestly.
You need to get started. You need to get started, motherfucker.
I got
you need
two
to
of them
step
to
on
make.
this shit.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you talked about it on here or not, but like you talked to me about that idea of a Michigan metal history thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I talked to some people the other night at the show about that, and they gave me some places to start.
Yeah.
Like some legitimate shit that is accessible.
Yeah.
So
like that's a thing where you could, I mean,
because here's the thing. You asked me what was the first Michigan metal band.
Yeah.
And I have no fucking idea.
Yeah. I think you said like MC5.
Like how far back you want to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
what do you count as metal? Or what do you count as the beginnings of metal at least? So, you know, MC5, Alice Cooper, but I don't know if we go back that far because that's not metal per se.
Yeah.
So the answer is I don't know, and I want to know. I didn't know.
Yeah.
And now I want to know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a question that no one's ever asked me before. And I was like, fuck. So I actually talked to Clint about it. I talked to some people, and yeah, they pointed me in some directions. Put it that way. I'll talk to you. We'll come up with something. I'll talk to you once we stop recording about it. But yeah, like they gave me some places to start probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. And researching that because I think that's a really good idea, and I think that's something we should do. I'm decided to put together maybe for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do some different stuff.
Yeah. That's something we've never done anything like that before.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be a lot of fun. Got anything else?
I don't know. Guess not. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I was looking through like trying
You're
to
going
figure
to
out some,
fit
like,
for an autopsy Friday.
different, like, yeah,
Probably.
pretty excited about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Them, Last 10 Seconds of Life, Discarnate, who I've been waiting to see forever. One of the sickest
Didn't we
bands.
see them together at Metal Fest?
No, they never played Metal Fest. I don't know who
Really?
that was. Yeah.
Fuck, who am I thinking of then?
I'm not sure.
I know Disincarnate. I need to see some album covers. But anyway, go on. Sorry.
So those two bands, and then it's the Sea of Tragic Beasts release tour.
Yeah.
And like that, we're speaking about, I guess, album of the year. I guess like that's definitely up there for me.
Yeah.
Like I've been.
It's up there for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been a big one. A lot of since the show the other day, listening to a lot of Die Art.
Fuck yeah.
Human Target has been on like blast for me the last
incredible
like couple weeks, honestly.
Outstanding album.
So yeah, I don't know. A lot of considerations for the year.
It's gonna be a fun episode.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a group of fun episodes because
Yeah.
right now we got like 3.
Yeah.
Basically, album of the year, album of the decade, and the Clint one.
I'm hoping that I can walk it because I know that you've got some ones that aren't necessarily on my radar.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know that
you've got some that are nowhere near mine.
Yeah.
So
hopefully we can kind of like reach a middle ground.
A good mix.
Yeah.
No, I want a good mix. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want some extremes from both ends. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, that's what I love about this. And that's what I love about the idea of Clint coming on and, like, introducing even us to stuff maybe we've never heard of and anybody that listens to this. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, I'm very, like, like I said, I don't give a fuck about your subgenre. I just want to know what's good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's good is good, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So what makes me feel something, that's what it is. And that's what, listen, everybody out there that might be hearing this, that might be some sort of an elitist, or maybe you're not an elitist and you just got made fun of by someone or something like that. Fuck them. And if it makes you feel good, and if it's something that connects to you, you stick with that shit.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. That's what this is all about. So at the end of the fucking day, like, I only turn on shit that makes me go, you know what I mean? Like, live for this. Live. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God.
I don't know. There's
The
like
goosebumps.
there's some sad boy shit in there for me, because I like to feel things.
No. There is from. Oh my God, I fucking love Bishop Gunn, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, this fucking. I fuck around in other genres for sure.
Yeah.
But.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as anything else, I don't think I got anything.
All right. All right, we shall wrap this up, but there will be much more to come. Do you want to do? Are you interested in doing a video review for See a Tragic Beast?
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do that once you see him live and you get to see some of those songs live. Because that's honestly, like, when a new album comes out, I like to wait till, if they're going to tour soon after and be here, I like to wait till after I see him to do the review. Because then you really, A, you get time with the album, usually, and B, you really get the full effect of those songs live.
Yeah.
And you get to add that into the perspective of the review. And that is a factor. That's a fucking factor, because you're going to be seeing these songs live for as long as you go see the band. You know what I mean? It's a factor in there.
Yeah.
So I think that, we'll do that. If you want to do that next week, I'm down. I'll start listening to the album right now, because I haven't heard it top to bottom. I've heard some songs, but I haven't heard it top to bottom yet.
I know, because I watched the there was a thing that Kerrang posted that was like a live set, like a full set from them, and it was like just, I don't know, it was sick. I really liked it, so it made me like that much more excited to see him and stuff. So
that show's gonna be insane, dude.
Yeah.
That show's gonna be off the fucking chain, no question.
Like, I've seen him. We saw him at Max and we played with him.
Yep.
Saw him at Harpo's.
Yep.
And that was with Hatebreed when they were opening.
Yep.
And so now this is a chance to see him, because I think the last time at Max, they didn't have their original drummer. There was like somebody filling in for him, so they didn't play like a full set. They played I think 5 or 6 songs on it. Okay. But with this one, it's like album release show, like full, and stuff. So I'm hoping that they play. I know at least from that video they played like the 3 singles and then one of the newer ones, like one of the other ones. So nice. I'm really excited to see what happens. So
hell yeah, I wish I could go to it, but friend of the show Jordan, who regular listeners know, he got married up in Mackinac a few months back.
Hey man,
and
congrats.
He at the wedding, I was the best man. At the ceremony, I was literally like, I was the only one there that wasn't blood to the bride or groom, pretty much.
Yeah.
So besides the maid of honor, so they're having a thing on Friday, the same day as the show, for their friends. They're basically having a friend wedding party or whatever. So I am sadly pre-obligated.
Hey.
I tell you what, if anything fucking happens and that shit doesn't go down, I'm in Detroit that night.
Oh yeah.
Because that show's gonna be insane. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But I gotta be there for the buddy. So.
Yeah, man. Hey, I ain't mad about it.
Hey. Things do come up, but we will. I mean, I hope to go to another show before the year's out, but I got nothing as of right now.
Yeah, there's not really anything.
I'm gonna Steel Panther, but I don't know if I'll be able to swing it.
Yeah. What's been really tripping me up is seeing release or seeing like tour dates for 2020.
And
like,
isn't that trippy, dude?
Yeah.
We're gonna have shirts that say 2020 on the back. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I have a shirt right there that says 2007.
Yeah.
We have ones that say 2020.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That one says 2017, so that's 10 years later right there. Ozfest to Michigan Metal Fest.
Holy shit, yeah. I didn't even put those two together.
10, neither did I until just this very second right now. Wow. That's crazy. But anyway, all right, we'll wrap this one up. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to follow Bog Wraith, Recorruptor, and all the bands we listened to. We mentioned tonight on all their respective platforms, but us in particular on Facebook, Instagram. Bog Wraith and Recorruptor are on Bandcamp, Twitch, YouTube, Patreon, fucking all the shit. Look them all up. And check us out on iTunes as well. They're all on iTunes too. But yeah, that's going to be about it from us tonight. We'll be back again very soon. We're going to try to end this year strong for you motherfuckers. So
Yeah.
let's hit this shit. We love you all to death. Fucking raise your horns, bang your heads. We love you all to death. Good night.